I want to tell you why I do this work because I think it matters that you know. There's no script for this. I'm just going to tell you how it is. My name is Marcie. I run the co-parenting method. I'm a co-parent myself. I'm a coach. I'm a conflict resolution expert. And I have been working in the co-parenting space since my son was 1 year old when I became a co-parent myself. And that was probably one of the biggest shocks of my life. Becoming a co-parent was completely unexpected for me, and certainly when my son was one, it was very new. It was nobody else I knew was going through it, and actually, we didn't start by becoming co-parents. We just separated. It was very traumatic. It was very upsetting, and the whole time was horrendous. So I know what you are going through now. At the time, I was working in the diplomatic service and I was working as a communications specialist, which basically meant that I had to get people to speak well to each other, I had to get people to listen well to each other. And that's not always easy to do. Couple with that, I'm going through my own separation where I don't want to listen to what my ex has got to say, and he doesn't really want to listen to me either. So my work and my personal life started to collide in this really unusual way. Fast forward a little bit of time, a few months, and my friend said to me, Marcie, you need to go and get a coach. I was like, what's a coach? You know, it was 2008. Nobody was having coaching. And she was like, you need to go and speak to this woman. She's amazing. And indeed, she was amazing. And I had coaching and I experienced for myself what it was to actually make informed decisions and actually to do that from a place of being strong and not being trampled all over. And it was quite empowering for me. So fast forward another couple of years and I retrained myself to become a coach. And I suddenly realized that I had this experience of being a co-parent myself. And I had this experience of being a communications specialist and working within conflict in my job. And of course, I had all these coaching skills. And that is what led me to develop the co-parenting method framework. And of course, to write the book that went to become a bestseller. And, you know, I've been all over the world talking about co-parenting and the work that I do and why it's important. And this is why I do what I do, because I fundamentally believe that when it's safe to do so, and it's not always safe to do so, but when it's safe to do so, kids have the right to have two parents who can interact with each other and still be parents, even though they're not in a relationship anymore. And what that does for your children, it brings them stability. It enables them to still be kids. It allows them to show up and be playful and not have to hold the weight of a conflict on their small shoulders. The weight of conflict is really significant on children, and I'll talk about that later on in this channel. But really, what I saw for my own situation was I had a 1 year old son, and I realized that I didn't have the right to stop him seeing his dad, whatever had transpired between us. And with great difficulty and with a lot of noise from parents and grandparents and all the other people around me, I managed to get to a place where we could co-parent together. And I tell you what, it was possibly one of the hardest things I'd ever done. And one of the hardest things about it was knowing that I was going to have to do this for at least 17 years, right? And that kind of marathon mentality was very difficult in a time when you're full of emotion and shock. So realizing that and then stumbling and fumbling through it and learning what works and what didn't work was one of the things that really helped me refine my methodology. And it's why the co-parenting method is so popular today. The co-parenting method is really a very practically based program that allows you to get over 20 practical tools to take with you on your co-parenting journey. It's a framework, it's a 6 step framework that has all these tools in it that's really, really grounding, and it allows you to just start co-parenting even though you may not know what you're doing. This is your guidebook to one of the hardest things that you have ever been through in your life. And as I say in my book, you know, you don't sign up for co-parenting. You don't think you're ever going to be a co-parent when you have a kid. And it's like basically packing for a summer holiday and ending up on a ski slope. You haven't got the right equipment. The co-parenting method, this channel, this YouTube channel, the community button, hit subscribe underneath. We can take you there. You can join our private community. We'll give you everything that you need to stay on track in your co-parenting, even when it's really hard. I'm delighted that you're here. Thank you for joining me.